Hey everybody, how's it going? Saturday. It's a Techno Saturday. Who was in the chat first today? Stereo Decor. We got Jan Kalinowski, the Metaphase, Functor, Zap. You need this? Yeah, we all need some techno. We need some techno today. What's up, Silver Knobs? We got Mr. T, Ruffle FPV, Marco Freudenberg. What you talking about, Jan Kalinowski? No waiting anymore. What are we waiting for? We got Riki Krikarovsky. Welcome. Yeah. Gonna play around with some techno today. I guess I'm alternating every other week. I'm like electro, techno. That kind of works. It's a rhythm. Last time, trying out the new plugins, doing a little deeper, dubbier thing. Honestly, I went back and listened to it. I was like, that's okay. It was all right. So we'll try something a little different today. All right. Well, I guess let's just dive right on in. Welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh. Look, I'm frozen. Look, the camera's not working. What an anticlimax. I love it. I had a sneaking suspicion that there might be a little hiccup with the stream as soon as I started, because I heard while I was doing the countdown, I heard the audio drop out. So, all right, we're going to try to fix this. Let me go back on let me go on a Be Right Back screen and see if I can figure this out. Give me a minute. Oh my gosh. Am I moving? Can you see me? Is it working now? That was annoying. Why did that happen? How's everything, everybody? Selway's Techno Saturdays getting off to a grand start today on this kind of cold and gray and a little bit wet day here in New York City. In the content studio at 343 Labs as usual, with the green screen behind me, with the trippy video synthesizer graphics. One of these days, I'm going to update this whole setup. It's just been so easy to have it ready to go without fooling around. But hey, why not? It's like that's my style. That's what it looks like. So yeah, 343 Labs here in New York City, music production school. We do courses. We do a full 1-year program. We do one-off private lessons. We do workshops. We do master classes. We put videos on YouTube. And we like to share what we know with you. So, if you want to know more about the programs, the events, the classes, we've got the links in the description below for you to click on at your heart's content. You can see what we're doing in Berlin. You can see what we're doing here in New York City and online. And yeah. Okay. Did my job. What's up, everybody? How are we doing today? Who else is here in the chat? Who's dropped in? Hey, Doug Smith, welcome. Aaron Hedges is here. See a lot of regulars, a couple of new faces. And yeah. Someone mentioned Pigments. Pigment 6 is out. I was actually hoping to get a hold of that this week. We have a bit of a, full disclosure, 343 Labs has a bit of a partnership with Arturia. They hook us up and we use their plugins in our classes, and our instructors have them. And so, yeah, this time somehow I didn't get a hold of Pigment 6 early or anything, but I am looking forward to it. Not what I'm doing today, though. I don't have it yet. Today, what are we doing today? I'm just going to make a techno track. I've been trying to keep it simple and keep things raw. I was talking about this with the electro track last week, just like getting ideas out and not overthinking it and just kind of going with it and not overproducing. And yeah, not looking at any specific new plugins, although I do still have the random metal in here that we played around with a couple of weeks ago. But for the most part, I've just been building this beat up with samples. That's it. I'm just starting to do, a new track and kind of being old school about it. I'm not trying to be fancy or tricky or crazy new plugins or whatever. Just throwing down some sounds and getting into the groove. That's it. Really simple, straight ahead. Okay, so I'm an idiot. Look at this. This is how out to lunch I am. Aaron is pointing out that it's a free upgrade. I just didn't know about it. So I've been so busy doing my work and doing things and teaching here during the week at 343 Labs, and it didn't even click that it's a free upgrade. Why did I not notice that? I totally could get it right this second. Okay, absent-minded professor action happens sometimes, right? But now we know. Thank you very much, Aaron, for reminding us it's just a simple upgrade. Update. Fantastic. But there's some cool new stuff in it, which I'm looking forward to. Like, it's got a vocoder. You know, we love vocoders around here. All right, that makes sense. Next week, we'll do an electro session again, and I'll pull out Pigment 6, and we'll use the vocoder, and we'll do some electro-y things with the pigments. I think that'll work well. Nice one. Okay. So, what else y'all talking about? Nothing. That's it. We're talking about pigments. All right. So I was saying what we're going to do today. We're making, I was thinking I want something kind of raw and jacking and drummy and bouncy, but not too hard. Something like, I like my kind of jacking Chicago beats. So a little bit of that. Kind of drummy to start with. And then, we'll see about adding some effects, some spaciness, some futurism, right? Lean it towards being, it's techno. It's definitely techno, but let's see how spacey we get today. Nice one. Where are we at? Where's my OBS scenes? Here we go. I'm so confused. All right. See, that's what happens when I get interrupted at the beginning and I'm messing with OBS. So here we go. Let's see what we've got. Starting out with, the other thing besides just sort of keeping it raw and keeping it jacking is just sort of deliberately choosing something other than a typical 909 kind of kick, right? Something that has a little character, but still serves the same sort of purpose and energy. And, I started going through just randomly going through kick samples, found it's actually a live preset, and it's more of an acoustic, kind of processed acoustic drum. And it ended up sounding just like this. And you can hear it's got that kind of resonance, right? It's thumpy, it's solid, but it also has that kind of hollowness, that resonance. And I may still process this a little bit to make it heavier, to make it deeper. But I wanted this to sound a bit less typically, synth kick, right? And, there's some effects going on in here. I'm going to let's turn them off and see where this thing started. Yeah. And that actually already sounds pretty cool to me. I could have just left it like that. And I have it filtered. I got a little bit of a envelope, like a fast, real sharp decay on the filter just to keep that snap in there. And I'm kind of going back and forth on whether I really need that. Little EQ in there, and then squashing it maybe a little bit too much with Saturn, and then putting a little bit of a rumbly, but not too deep, not like heavy techno rumble, just kind of a space, right? So that's where I started, and for better or for worse, that's what I'm going to stick with. All right. So here's that new random metal plugin, or recent, new to me. I was also thinking about using this for a kick, but it has these kind of subtle random changes, and I wanted my kick to use a sample to have, I could resample this, but I don't know. I just decided to use this for more of like a second kick, or like a low tom, or like in place of a bass sound. So we've got this. It's kind of jacking feel. You know what? I'm just gonna, while we're listening to this, I'm gonna check my mixer here for a second and make sure that you guys are hearing things clean. Looks like you should be, right? I'm not doubling the audio. Very good. And I was kind of playing around with like how rumbly and filtered, or how resonant, or what pitch do I want this to be. That's a little rougher sounding, which I like too. That's a little too much, probably. Kind of more broken. Marco Freudenberg saying something's a bit strange. Probably, I don't know. Something's a bit strange. We'll see. It could be coming through the mic if I don't turn the volume up too much. Also, it could just be that this is a weird sound. I'm using weird sounds. That's what it is. That's more like a kick, like a muffled acoustic kick. There's so much variation by moving it in tiny, tiny amounts. All right, so, we'll see what I do with this. It's not processed or anything. It's just coming straight out. Okay, let's see. What's next? I've got, as soon as I did that, I'm moving on. I'm just throwing, this is what I threw together before we started the stream, and then we're going to go from here, right? So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Leave it. It's rough. It's raw. It's rugged. We'll sweeten it up or tweak it later if we need to. And then I've got I needed some high frequencies. And again, I'm mainly, with some exceptions, trying to avoid typical drum sounds. So I'm not using the 909s, etc. Right? I'm just trying to find like whatever random samples jump out at me when I go through them. And I got a couple of these chunky kind of tambourine, or not chunky, but like it's more than just a one shot. It's got that little articulation of the shake of the tambourine, which I'm cool with this. And there's another one. What's up, Michelle? Glad you're here. All right, so I got my tambourines going. What's this guy? Have I forgotten already? Okay, I said no 909s, but this is a processed, dirty 909 sample, and I'm actually having second thoughts about it, right? It works. I like it. And it also has a little noise and a little, right? I want these kind of little dirty, shaky, imperfect, rough samples. But let's see. All right, let's go back on. I'm gonna stick to my word and like, what can we find that's not a 909 that has that energy, right? So yeah, that's all I'm doing today. I'm going through samples. I'm just, I've got the auto tags on in the browser, and I'm just gonna pick whatever pops up. We'll see. Let's do an open hi-hat or a pedal hi-hat. See what's the difference. I want something like sharper, shinier. Now I can always add effects. Let me change this so you can hear the preview. Those are two. All right, that's better, brighter. I might have to end up layering stuff or doing like a shaker or something. Soft stuff. What else we got? All right, not throwing up too much for me, Live's algorithm. Auto tags. It's trying to do like sound similarity and stuff like that. Let's choose open hi-hat instead. Okay, that's more like what I'm looking for. It's really bright. That sounds like it might be like a little bit of a 909 layered with something brighter. Let's try it. I'm gonna throw that on here, and actually, let's put that. I've been also playing around. I keep forgetting about the drum sampler, so let's use that. And that would do. Maybe we'll just layer it. Too many hi-hats. Who's talking about rides? Is talking about rides. Rides are, how many times have I thrown a 909 ride on a track? It's actually, for me, kind of hard not to use the 909 rides because they always work so well for techno. It's just such a thing, right? It's just part of the style. Can we even find a ride that will do justice that isn't a 909 ride? So let's see what we can find. The first thing that pops up.
Ride the rim.
That's not the ride that we were talking about. No riding the rim. So that's a really cool one. That's a filtered, affected 909 ride again. This is gonna be tough. Okay, so I like that sound. It doesn't have the. It's nice and shiny. Let's try it. It's got effects on it already. It's got delay. That might actually throw things off a little bit. Maybe if I put it on in the simpler with warping on, maybe whatever those echoes will stay in time. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's make this. All right, here we're going to do. I'm going to do my usual thing. I turn the re-trigger off. Long release. Yeah, that's actually, it's a little too thin to me in a way. But whatever. Maybe if we tune it. It sounds, yeah, you know what? It sounds like it's like a filtered 808-ish. I'm not against it. It's different. Maybe we'll go with it, but let's see what else we got. Look at these crazy processed, squashed, compressed samples. Interesting. I did say I wanted dirty. What? Crazy. No more 505s. Jeez. Those all must be from drum kits. Let's try some of these. Interesting, maybe. Let's layer them. I'm just doing stuff just because I feel like it today. Let's just... Definitely needs to be tuned. It's too loud. I'm not even sure what it needs to be tuned to, but I feel like it just needs to be tuned. Maybe we do little eighth notes with the velocity up and down thing. Okay, this is all maybe right now. Random sample and hold, detuning. Little movement. Little panning. It's like putting a chorus on it. Do the same with this one. I need to make this like a default for my simpler because I do this so much for drum sounds. Interesting. Not terrible. Let's just completely overprocess ride cymbals. What do you say? What am I doing? Saturating. Why am I saturating? I don't know. Let's make it sound smoother. Brighter and smoother at the same time because we're compressing it. I'm okay with this. Okay. All right. I'm gonna ditch that 909. Like I said, gone. We've committed. Panning our tambourines a little bit. We're not going to keep that ride in there all the time. I'm going to jump back over to this random kit and see what else we have in here. All right, we're just starting with whatever presets are here and then tweaking them, basically. That's interesting. These are kind of all the same thing, right? Might have to tweak these. Ooh, that's deeper. Deeper's good, right? I'm okay with like adding a little response to that. I guess the question then is, do I mix them together on the same track or have them on separate tracks or whatever? Let's just throw it in there again, right? We're trying not to overthink making a new clip, and then we'll just gonna throw it in there. Okay. I'm starting to not be sure about this one now that I've decided to commit to it, because it is definitely like, oop, that's weird. It is definitely like a layered sampled 909 with something. So I'm having a crisis. Maybe it needs some stereo-y, effecty kind of a stuff. Maybe it's just not wide enough. Like it's very in the middle. Maybe it needs some EQ. Am I overthinking it? You tell me. I know I'm overthinking it. You don't have to tell me. Ah, look at that. That's always a problem. Whereas kind of noise, maybe. Yeah, it was kind of sounding pinched, right? Gonna do something super easy. Not that. Something like that. Just a little spaciness. There we go. I'm okay with that now. How are we doing? I like this. Well, Aaron Hedges. Not terrible is actually a compliment in Germany. Yes. Not terrible. Aaron wants me to put soothe on my hi-hats. Maybe later. Especially if I'm doing stuff like this, like super boosting up the highs. I probably am making some aggressive resonances way up there. I don't know. I like this too when the hi-hat goes away. Maybe it's a little too loud. All right, and then we got all the high frequency percussion happening. Cool. We added a little bit more detail there. We changed one of the hi-hats, mixed some things a little bit, added an extra low, rough, whatever random metal low frequency percussion going on there. Now, I was looking earlier for percussive, noisy samples that also could be like main sounds or lead sounds. And I found this one, which is this is like from a really old 90s sample pack, right? That's basically like, you know, ravey stab from the 90s, and I dropped that in the drum sampler and used it. You know, I just played around with it, so now I've got something more like. Right, so it's that chord sample with that's really noisy, but then I've got FM on it, and it's making it into. It reminds me of like kind of a more of aggressive version of some of these old school Detroit kind of FM plucks. So I don't know. This is what I came up with. Simple, right? It's almost like a clap or a snare, but it has that tone in it from the harmonics in the sample from the chord and the FM that's creating a more of a fundamental. It's got a nice stereo image on it too. So I'm going to go with it. Again, this just happened. It was like going through samples and, oh, that sounds like crazy, rave, dirty stab. Let's use it. Amebe, did I say it right? Says that's a weird sample. Yes, it's a weird sample. That's the whole point. And I could be almost done with this track. Like I could just arrange this and like do some automation and put some effects on it. And like that's what else do you need, right? Keep it simple. Or we could, we've got some time to kill, right? I've got another half an hour to get through, so we need to like maybe find some more things to play around with. Doug is suggesting spaciness now. Okay, we could go in a spacey direction. I was also already thinking like, what if I take this, put effects on this, filter it, put delays, play around with it, modulate it. That's more like, that's so intense. Like using effects and automation on that sound is already like a whole track, probably. Just depends on what we do. What do we do? Simple something like filter it. Gonna make it trancy if I do something like this. That's cool because I can kind of keep the brightness in there. Sometimes I just like doing the most simple thing. All right, I'm gonna overkill this. I'm gonna put a fragments on the return and just see what happens when I send this to it. You wanted spacey. You got it. I don't know what I'm doing. That was just the default, like the first preset in fragments. It's so cheating. Too glitchy. I'm open to something like that. Get dubby again, like last time, but like better. Without the filtering. Let's see what else we got. Too much. Too glitchy. Maybe. But like, maybe if I have it more in the background, because it's so sharp and percussive, but not overly glitchy. All right, I also forgot. All right, I'm going to try a variation. All right, I like this kind of sparse, old school jacking. It's like a Beltram kind of a pattern, which I like. What if we do something more? Whoa. All right. Don't know what's going to happen. Could try different pitches. Huh. Actually sounds good there. What do we think? Could be something? All right, that's what the FM is doing. Could play around with that and be trippy and modulate over time. Got the decay. Ooh, that's good too. Maybe a little too much on the velocities of those brighter ones. Yeah, a little too much. I like it more like... And then maybe duplicate that. All right. Different direction. Totally different direction, right? This... Better energy, probably. Not too busy. Playing around with the envelope mod. Interesting. All right, we got Spacey. Let's take a minute. We're getting deep again. I was trying to keep it up, but I like what's happening. And I just noticed that my camera crapped out again. Y'all can see the screen share, right? Though you can, even though you can, I might be stuck. You guys can still hear and see the screen. That's what's important, right? Okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to fix my camera. Okay, that's really irritating. Having my camera keep freaking out. It's very distracting. Well, actually, no, it wasn't that distracting. It was more like I got into it and I didn't notice that the camera stopped working. This computer, I swear. I've been using, we have this, it's the first generation M1 Mac Mini here in the content studio. And I used to use my PC at home to stream when we started during lockdown. And then we moved in here and I started streaming from here and I set everything up on this Mac, and every now and then something like that happens. And I have no idea why. I mean, not that never happens on a PC with streaming with OBS. All sorts of issues can happen, but, I don't know. I never had, well, that's not true. Not never, never say never, but anyway, most of the time we're good. What are y'all talking about? Mar. Nice. You came to hang out. And what kind of music are you making? Since you seem to know what you're doing. Hey, Jean-Paul, what's up? Nice to have you. I've been frozen for ages in deep freeze. Let's see. Aaron's talking about sounds more subliminal now. Doug is thanking me for the spacey. Doug, you got the spacey. I gave it to you. And okay. We got Cyber Cowboy 69. Welcome back. Syncopation with velocity. Yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to do for a little bit. Uma's saying maybe the camera can't handle the bass. Actually, there's not that much low end. I know what you mean. I know you're joking, but you know how like when you see like you'll see like videos of DJ sets in clubs and the subwoofers will be making the camera vibrate. I don't think that's happening. There's not that much sub happening, at least not over these speakers. Maybe there's more than I'm getting. All right. How are we doing for time? Oh, I've got another 15 minutes or so. And, all right. Aaron's making a suggestion. What would be kind of fun is to do a live stream, but work mostly with samples coming from the community. We could just say write in G minor and provide a loop. Yeah, I mean, doing something more interactive, I'm up for that. Maybe we usually do, when we do interactive, we have guests and we have, challenges and feedback sessions and things like that. But that could be fun if y'all want to do that sometime. Like, I could make like a Dropbox folder for everybody to upload stuff into. And I know other people have done this. This isn't like a totally new concept for music production live streamers to collaborate with their viewers. But yeah, I'd be up for that. Maybe we'll do that going forward one of these days. I'll think about like which Saturday we could do that on. And yes, a big collab with all the kids. Cool. Metaphase is suggesting we get everything together on Discord. That is also a good idea, right? We could use Discord. We have the Selway feedback channel. For those of you who have not joined the 343 Labs Discord, there's a link below in the description. That should take you directly to sign up and go to the Selway feedback channel. I need to go back in there and see what y'all are doing. I haven't checked out your tracks lately. Apologies. So yeah, good reminder for our Discord. Been busy around here. Anyway. Okay. Yes. Arms race to make the coolest samples. I see what you're saying. All right. So you guys like not like find or whatever set, but like make loops, make beats, make stuff. I like that. That's actually better. That's a higher level challenge than I was originally assuming. So yeah, I like that, to do like kind of a sound, like it's not just use this sample, use that sample, and like that you just have to deal with what you get. But if you guys actually were to do some sound design or do some pattern kind of rhythmic stuff, like specific elements, like one element of a track, and then we could figure out how to put it all together on the stream. I like this idea. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna put that on the calendar. Great idea, Aaron. Nice one. All right, so since my camera's working again and we've had our little break here on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School. More info in the description. Okay, did my job. Let's wrap up or proceed with what's going on here with this groove. Okay. At first listen, after giving it a break for a minute, I like it. And, I like it without the spaciness and the filter and just straight up. But I also like this. A little smoother on the ears. But it's some kind of cool movement going on because of the envelope follower here. sounds phasey, right? It sounds like a phaser, but precise and sharp. And then there's that little 16th note kind of rattle on the end. That's intense. Wow, that I'm not sure about that kick now. I mean, it sounds good with the drums like that. Let's go to the full screen before I forget. I like that. Too much resonance. Okay. Little bit of that fragment spaciness in here. I think the trick for that is going to be keep it in the background so it's more like a spacey layer, not taking over too much. All right. I feel like I want some more mid-rangey, clappy, snarey percussion. Not necessarily like literal typical claps, but just some kind of sharp percussion to add in some other variation in sort of in the middle, and to also play off of these guys. I mean, I could even just go in here and play around with like stuff like that. These are very woody. I'm just going to do that. Let's just throw in. I'm going to start with rhythm and then tweak until it sounds different. And if I don't like it, we'll try something else. Oh, that's right. How this works, it's like the same kit repeats every octave, so you can kind of work with wherever. Actually, that was accidentally cool. What's that? That's like clank. All right. Just wanted to figure out which of those notes were again after I deleted them, and I'm like, no, put them back. All right, rhythmically, I like that. I don't love the sounds. They're kind of in the ballpark. And I feel like I might want something cleaner. These are like these kind of dirty, algorithmic, weird, whatever they are. But, you know, we can play around. Turn off the auto select. Whoa. What did I just do? I did something cool. Is it changing all of the sounds simultaneously? Yeah. I forgot about that. I guess I have to go over here to do the individual. Yeah. This plugin's crazy. All right, I'm totally messing this beat up. Let's hear how it sounds with everything after I messed it up. Actually, I'm not mad at that. Yeah. How can we completely overdo this kick drum? All right, that's going to overdo everything. Let's tone down that lead sound for a second. That high ride cymbal. Yo. There we go. Too much, right? Maybe that's good. I was trying to make that kick like just fatter. And now it's dirty and distorted and crazy. I'm okay with this. Okay. I'm enabling the more delays. Are we good? Too much. A little messy sometimes with those random fragment glitches. It works better when it's lower, filtered. How's that sound with too much delay on it? Here we got the trancey version. What? I'm destroying it. Okay. I think we did it. I think we made it today. Gotta play around with that fragments thing. Now I'm just fooling around. How are we doing? Did we do it? Mission accomplished. I'm happy with that. That's a track. I mean, I could think of a couple other elements to add, some sort of little hooky things, maybe some other alternative to that wah, wah that's happening all the way through, like some other like higher frequency thing, maybe some other trippy sounds to come in and out, ear candy, transitions, noise, right? So I think that stuff will come more in context of arranging, at least like where it needs to be and maybe what kind of energy it needs to have. And, we'll figure out how to, all that stuff where I was just real time controlling the shape of the envelopes and the filter frequency and the FM and the modulation and the filter. I was having some second thoughts about, shouldn't I use something like more kind of fancy and specific than the auto filter? But then because it just sounds so auto filter. I just know it. I know what that sounds like, but then it also sounds good. So who cares? But that's another thing, would be like, do I maybe something other than the typical Ableton Live effects might help it kind of be a little more or a little different, at least for me. But otherwise, I'm happy with this. And, just starting with whatever sounds popped up and then just making them work and not overthinking too much to like kind of keep the initial excitement that was happening from putting those things together. Yeah, I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? What are y'all talking about? Audio Muscle, thank you. Lots of fun today. Yeah, I'm having fun. Aaron is pointing out it's just filtering and build-ups. Like, it is so typical. You're right. Like, that's kind of also like talking about the filter. It's like it's so easy to fall back on that. To just do the filtering up and down. Like, it's so easy. There are obviously other things to do. That's a challenge. I need to, one of these days I like setting these limits. Like today, one of the limits was try to avoid 909, right? And that, for the most part I did. And then that's a good limitation though. Like saying no filtering, like, or no low pass filters or no like typical easy tricks. Like find a new trick to do to make it sound different. All right, but I'll think about that. Glad you had fun. Those of you who said you had fun, and if you didn't have fun, well, sorry, maybe next time. D-Man 3000, thanks for being inspired. I appreciate that. And very good. It is just about to be a little after 2:30. I'm going to call it a day and get on with the rest of my Saturday. And all of you should do the same. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Adios.